I showed you before that you can have a list of macros here, and if you don't have macros, you need to start to create your own macros. And the first and easiest way to create a macro is using the record macro function that is available here in the code area of the developer ribbon. So if I click, for example, if I click over this record macro, I can start. You can see if I go over with my mouse, I say here, I can see here what this means. So record a macro. Each of the commands you perform will be saved in the macro so that you can play them back again. So I'm going to record all the commands that I will show you right now. For example, my commands will be, I want to type 1, 2, 3. Then I want to go to the home tab, and I want to put it in bold, and I want to give a border, tick box border, like this. And then I want to give a background color yellow, and forecolor red. Okay, this is what I want to do. So I'm going back to my developer ribbon, and I will do this in this cell, and I will say record macro. I will call it macro 1, where I can change the name, and I may say this is format cell. I can have a shortcut if I want to, when I want to run it. Once it is created, I can say I can store this in a new workbook or in this workbook, etc. And I give a description if I want. And then I say this is a macro to format a cell, setting the background color to yellow, the forecolor to red. Okay, then I click on OK. Then I will select this cell, will type 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going home, bold, bold, make a border like the other one, yellow background, forecolor is red. Going back to my developer ribbon, and I click now, my record macro turn into stop recording. That means that each of the commands you perform will be saved into the macro so that you can play them back again. So I click on stop recording, and I'm done. I recorded my macro. How can I see where my macro is? Now I have it in the list of macros here. I click and I say I want macros in this workbook, and I have exactly here format cell, our macro. Then I can run, edit, step into, delete, or other options. At the moment I can only execute. I want to execute it, and of course if I click on execute, this will repeat the same that I did before. But I want to see the code, and to see the code just click on edit here. And when I click on edit, as you can see, I go directly to the VBA editor, this one, the Visual Basic Editor, like I did before, and I just shown the code of my macro that I just created. As you can see here, I have the macro format cell in form of subroutine, and it is already listed here in General, Format Cell, in a new object within the VBA project. In this object, whose name is Module 1, we will see the difference of all these objects below the project. At the moment, when we create a macro, automatically a new object by the name module is created, which is an element of the Visual Basic Editor, where we can define one or more macros like the one that we just created. We have a declaration. I will show you this, and here Format Cell, we have our macro. And all what we did is record this step by step and all these commands. You can see here. Of course, you can see that I repeated many because there is some mistakes while I was recording this macro, and all the steps are recorded, and you can see here there is a lot just for one simple example. And the best of this is this following, that if now I decide to delete this, doing like this, right click, delete, then I see shift left up, this is completely empty, and I select this. Instead of this, if I execute macros, Format Cell, run, voila, I obtain exactly the same that I did before manually, only that in this time these have been automated. In the next videos I will show you more about this.